Hello friends, a warm welcome on this learning platform Claim IAS. Today I am here with the last and most important topic of Locke, that is Locke views on theory of property and theory of revolutions. Friends, if I am saying it's important because thinkers like social contract thinkers like Hobbes, Thomas Hobbes, Rousseau, John Locke, they have different opinions on social contract, state of natures, on natural rights. So here, friends, questions goes on repeating, questions goes on coming. So one has to see this topic very clearly. So that's the reason I'm saying it is the most important topic with regards to social contract thinkers, right? So before wasting any time, let us move to the topic. So the first one is Locke theory of property. So here, friends, according to Locke, property is part of one's personality and essential part of life. So two things we have to understand here. That is one's personality and essential part of life. Here, friends, here one's personality means property is part of life and no one can deprive anyone from the right to property, right? Why? Because even to sustain we need the property, right? So that's the reason John Locke says that property is one's personality as well as an essential part of life. Okay, and the second one is right to property is natural rights and hence inalienable. Man cannot be alienated from right to property as to be alienated man from the right to life. Your friends, John Locke says that property is natural, and here natural means someone means here friends if anyone have worked hard to get those property from anyone through the legal means. So here no governments, no anyone, no one can take back from you. Means property cannot be taken back from anyone if you have acquired this property through the legal means. Okay, and the third one is the division of natural resources among men should be determined by the amount of labor each man has mixes with these resources. So it is also very important, friends, and we'll discuss this statement here. Locke says that the more you contribute with your labor means the more you work in order to acquire the property, it is yours. Suppose, friends, there is person X, okay? There is person X here, and you are Aman. For example, you are Aman, okay? There is person X. X person is selling some property, and you are Aman. You have worked hard, you have acquired this property from X, okay? So you have worked hard and collected some money and get this property, right? So no one can take back from you, right? Why? Because you have earned those property, you have acquired those property through the legal means. So that's the reasons Locke is the chief exponent of theory of property. So here I will discuss very briefly why he was known as chief exponent of theory of property. So in the next statement, friends, Locke has given the lever theory of property to justify absolute right to property. So this statement means property is the fruit of your labor, and if you have earned those property through the legal means, by all of your effort, no one can take back from you. Even state have no interference in your property. That is what Locke says here and gives the absolute authority towards your property. And the next statement is, according to this, property is the product of one's labor, right? Labor is part of one personality and hence person should have complete right on his property. Here friends, three things you have to remember. One's labor, right? Second one is one's personality and complete right over the property. First thing here friends, one's labor. Why? Because one person have really worked hard and collected some money, okay? You are the one person, right? Collected some money, okay? You have collected some money and acquired a land, okay? You have purchased a land. First thing you have done, you are suppose you are Aman, right? Collected some money, bought the land through the legal means. So here come this land, this is the property, and in this property you have the complete rights. No one can deprive you, no one can take back from you. That is what Locke says here. Locke supports every individual's and every individual's property is part of personality as well as essential part of life. That is what Locke says here. Look, friends, we have learned that property is inalienable, but under some conditions, it can be seized by the government. Means government have the right to take back the property under some conditions. So let us understand what are those conditions through which government can seize the property or take back from the individuals. The first one is Locke says that you will only have absolute right to the property which you have built with your hard work. The first thing is hard work. Okay, you should remember, friends. The first thing is hard work. If you have earned the property through the hard work, it's yours. But if you have forcibly snatched the property from someone or have acquired the property by fraud with someone, you will not have the absolute authority over that. So here he says, if you have taken back from someone forcefully, in that you won't have any authority, you won't have any right on those property. The first one you have understand about the level limitations, right? And the second one is no right to deprive others. Right to property belongs to all, none can deprive. Let us understand this statement, friends, what Locke says here. So, in the second statement, friends, John Locke says that you cannot give a deep right to others. Everyone has the right to property, right? Everyone have right on their property, and everyone can acquire property with their hard work. No one can stop anyone or refuse anyone from acquiring the property. And the third one is no right to spoil property. One cannot spoil or destroy property in the sacred institutions. Suppose, friend, this is very interesting. Suppose, friend, there is person X, right? And this person X is a culprit. He have done something wrong, and he is going to be hanged, right? Means he has next day is the hanging day. Means next day he will die. So judge will ask him that what is your last wish? He said that I have a bungalow, right? Person X has a bungalow, and he's saying that, sir, I would like to burn my bungalow. Means I want to completely burn my bungalow so that no one will have the authority towards that bungalow. So here, friends, in these situations, government won't allow this person to burn, won't uh, allow the person to spoil the property. Why? Because spoiling property is a crime in itself. Why? Because if this person is trying to burn, instead of that, this property can be helpful for the person who is needy ones, means who really needs that property, right? There are various peoples who really needs friend, who are homeless. From that, so in these situations, government will take this bungalow from this X and give it to the one who really needs this, who are really homeless, right? So that is what Locke says that means here, friends. Overall, we have understood that here Locke supports right to property, but under some conditions, he says that under some conditions, governments will always have interfere in. So up to now we have learned these three conditions, right? So in these conditions, friend, government can interfere and seize your property, right? That is what John Locke says here. So from this overall, we have understood that here Locke is individualist. He supports individualist, but at the same times he also supports some legal things. Means John Locke don't supports illegal things. He supports something which is illegal. That is what I would like to say, friends. So here, friends, we will learn the view of Locke on the revolutions, and we will also understand what was the perspective of Locke on the revolutions. So here, friends, according to Locke, revolution is nothing but a peaceful change in the set of people ruling as government. So here, Locke says that revolutions must occur peacefully. So whatever change a person wishing to have means a person is willing to have. For example, friends, here we'll understand very briefly. So before we start, let us recall the previous lectures, such as social contract, and social contract will really help us to understand the Locke theory of revolutions. So as we know, friends, in the second contract of Locke, so here as we know, friends, Locke have gave two treatises of governments. So in the second treatises of government, Locke says that there was an agreement between the human and government, right? And we have gave some of our rights were given to the government, right? So he talks here that during agreement we gave some of our rights, including right to life, liberty, property. So if we have gave this right to state, then it is the duty of state to protect these rights. And if governments fail to protect the right, what will happen? Revolution will happen. And how revolution will happen? Peacefully revolution will happen. Why he says peacefully, friends? Why? Because as I have told you many times, friends, Locke was born on the time when there was peaceful revolutions, glorious revolutions, isn't it? So according to Locke, revolution is nothing but peaceful change, right? But if we see Marx, friend, Marx perspective on revolution is quite different, right? For Marx, revolution is nothing but a violence revolutions, right? So whenever we are studying anything, friends, just go and understand in the time. Means when Locke was born, just whatever we are understanding, like we are understanding revolutions, we have to see from the perspective when he was born, at what time he was born, what was the situation at that time. So these will help us to learn the topic very easily and very clearly, right? And here, friends, Locke theory of revolutions becomes significant when the government violates the social contract. So, in the social contract, friends, we gave some of our rights, including right to life, liberty, property. So, if we have gave this property, means if we gave this right to the state, then it is the duty of state to protect. And if state fails, what will happen? Revolution will happen. So, when revolution is justified, on what basis it should be justified? He says that if the government becomes tyrannical and abuses its power. So here, friends, Locke says that if government dominates any people of these regions, if government is going beyond the interest of the people, then what people can do? People can overthrow it, right? So here he says if government fails to protect natural rights, life, liberty, and property, why? Because these are the basic rights, and these basic rights are given to the government in order to protect that. And if government do not protect that, what we can do? We can overthrow. On what basis? If government fails to protect these rights, right? And the third one is it rules without the consent of government and breaches the trust of the people placed in it, right? So if friends, for example, this is the government, and we give these rights like right to life, liberty, property, and if these things are not protected by the government, and if the government breaches this, means whatever according to see friends, what we have done in the social contract, we trusted the government, we done the agreement, and if government tries to break the trust between the people and government, what will happen? Revolution will happen. So on the basis of these three things, revolutions can take place, right? That is what Locke says here. And here, friends, will understand how one can dissolve the government. So, a government that acts against the interests of its citizens loses its legitimacy and can be dissolved. So, here, friends, for example, as we know in the social contract, we gave some of our rights, right? So, if government is going beyond the interest of those rights, if government is not protecting those rights and not doing its duty, what it will have? It will lose its legitimacy, it will lose its power and can be dissolved. Means there will be an end to the government. And the next one is process of revolutions. So on the what process revolutions can take place, that is what Locke explains here. So Locke says that Locke advocated for revolution as last resort. Here, friends, resolutions must not be the primary things to fight, right? Here, revolution is the last, means at the end, when the people are exhausted by the government, at that time, people can take this step, that is revolutions. So, citizen must first seek remedies through the lawful means whatever law is made by the government, according to that law only, will try to get the remedies. And if the law is not working, if the government is going against those law, then what we can do? We can go for the revolutions. And what kind of revolutions? Peaceful revolutions. That is what Locke says here. When law and next one is when lawful recourse fails, people have the moral rights to overthrow the government and establish a new one that respect their natural rights. So here, friends, during the modern times also, these rights are given to us. Why? Because when we elect someone, for example, there is a X government is there, right? We elect him just to get our work done. And if this X government is not working for us, if it is going beyond our interest, what we'll do at the next 5 years? Means till 5 years he can be, and the next upcoming election, what we can do? We can overthrow him, right? This is what Locke suggests here. So I hope theory of revolutions is completed. So, friends, we end up with this topic, and in upcoming lectures, we will discuss important and relevant questions with regard to PSR optionals. So, if you like watching this video, do like, share with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.